Hello, everybody. It's me, Albatross. I hope everyone's doing well on this lovely Wednesday morning. Yes, Wednesday morning. Um, Back to the Epstein saga. I found this document, and this is one of many. It looks like Jeffrey Epstein, um, kept up with the Palestinian bulletins and news while he was, on Earth, wherever he's at now, who knows. But while he was here and before he, allegedly unalived himself, he did keep up with these Palestinian bulletins. And what's interesting to me is it looks like the Palestinian watch bulletin actually was sending this to Jeffrey themselves. I mean, I could be wrong, but isn't that them? So I'm a little confused about that. Maybe there's more in these files that could further explain this. Maybe he was just signed up for the bulletin. That's possible. He could have just been signed up to get the bulletin every day. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's a thing that people who aren't Palestinian can keep up with it. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's a thing. But the thing is, it's not only they send him this bulletin, but they also kind of, let's read it together. First of all, the subject of this particular bulletin is that the God of the Jews demand the blood of their children be used to make their Passover matzah. And if you don't know what Passover matzah is, I didn't either until recently. It's like basically like the unleavened bread that they eat during Passover. And it's a bit extreme, but probably true, who knows, that some of these people use the blood of children. Now, I have serious doubts. In fact, I know 100% because I know Jewish families, and they don't use blood of children to make their matzah. And at least I don't think so. Like I said, I didn't even know what matzah was till recently. But like I said, I've known friends who have celebrated Passover and things like that. And I've had siblings who have actually were allowed to partake in their little festivities. And the blood of children and any of this stuff was not a part of any of it. So this must be okay, it's either one of two things. They're either talking about certain satanic groups that are within the Jewish community, or this is propaganda. This is anti-Semitic propaganda. I hate the word anti-Semitic. You know why I hate the word anti-Semitic? Because they automatically assume that you're talking about like Jewish people when there are like a whole plethora of Semitic peoples in the Middle East. Like hating Palestinians is anti-Semitic, technically. So I don't really like using that word because the subtle implicity is that you're only talking about Israelis or Jewish people, and I don't like it because there's lots of different groups of Semitic peoples. But anyways, that's a whole side tangent. Let me get back to focus on this. So this could possibly be just maybe like, some propaganda that they made up. I don't know. But like, I don't really believe that. I hate to say it, but I feel like this must come from somewhere. And even if they just made this up, it's not like they wouldn't have a reason to think that they would do this. I mean, think about it. Gaza, the more we learn about them every day, they've basically been put in like perpetual prison. Not just them, but their children and their children's children. There are like entire generations in Palestine who've only ever known like imprisonment and like that concentration camp style setup. It's very sad because like the Israelites went from almost being genocided to turning around and pretty much perpetuating their own genocide on other groups. It's very sad. Like, it's like you see the cycle continuing. It's kind of like, the cycle of like a sexual abuse trauma. It's like it just keeps repeating itself. Maybe it's the same with genocide. Fuck if I know. But I would just like it to stop. Could we ever have a point in history where there's not a group of people trying to genocide another group of people? I would really like it to stop, please. Anyway, so let's get back into this bulletin. Let's read it together. By the way, Disclaimer, please do not attempt to contact anybody in the video, dead or alive or otherwise. This is all commentary and opinion on a publicly available email. Trigger warning, contains graphic and disturbing details relating to crimes against children and humanity. Okay, let's start to read. Okay, this was from July 13th, 2014. Okay, and this is kind of just giving a brief of what it's about to say. Okay, the official PA Daily, Jews' God demands Passover matzah be made from the blood of our children. The PA Daily says it's written in the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which is another document that I'm going to try to find. I see they've got a link there to it. I will look that up in just a little bit. Okay. The Protocols of the Elders of Zion is an anti-Semitic forgery. Of course it is. Describing how Jews allegedly planned to subjugate the world order under Jewish rule. It was published in Russia, in 1903 and translated into multiple languages. In 21, the Protocols of the Elders of Zion was exposed as a false document. Yeah, okay, but it doesn't say how it was exposed. What makes you say it's a false document? What made them say it was a true document? Like, they don't really give that here. Just to let you know, they don't give that here. It just trust the people giving the briefing to Jeffrey Epstein. Just trust them. They say it was a false document, so it's a false document. Even though no one alive right now was alive to recall this in 1903 or 19. I'm sorry, crap. I guess they say it was proven false in 1921. Published in 1903. But like I said, they don't say how it's false. They just say it's false. So we're just supposed to take them at their word, I guess. And like I said, I don't believe that's what, like I said, I know a lot of Jewish people. They don't have this view. This must be that certain elite class that's in every religion that are truly Satanists. Like, it's not just Jewish people. Can't say that enough. It's not just Jewish people, okay? I have a lot of Jewish people I love, and I don't, would never lump them in with these monsters. Okay, the following is the actual article that talks about this, the matzah being made from the blood of the children. Okay. Under the fire that has been burning against us for a month now, our national unity has endured an exceptional manner. Our unity, which extends from the northern tip of the Galilee to the southern tip of the Negev, from Gaza to the West Bank, and Jerusalem, from the farthest place of exile to the homeland. We are one nation, one cause, one entity, one hope, and one right. And we will not leave this land, for it is our land. All tales and myths can go to hell. Jerusalem will remain our capital, even if they use their nuclear bombs against us. We have nothing with which to speak to these Israeli murderers who go too far with their crimes, and whose God, quote, Yahweh, unquote, is the Lord of hosts, and demands, according to the protocols of the elders of Zion, that they offer him sacrifices during Passover in the form of matzah made from the blood of our children. We have nothing with which to open a dialogue but these rockets. Have all the Arab, Islamic, and Palestinian peace initiatives managed to draw even a single voice to engage in dialogue with us? And that is the end of the and it's so sad because we're seeing it play out right this moment, actually. This was all the way back in 2014, like years before the October 7th. Years before that. You think about it, these people have basically like grown up in prison, nearly starving, of dying of dehydration, different things like that, because they're just basically a population that, and I'm not saying all Israelites, but apparently the leaders in Israel have definitely taken pleasure and enjoyment out of torturing these people. So, you know what? I'm not even going to bring up October 7th anymore, because you know what? They have avenged everyone from that festival before that happened, and after it happened. So we can just move on from that. Can we please stop killing innocent people now? Please. And it's not just Israel, as much as, this is the leaders of Israel, not the Israelites, the leaders of Israel. As much as it gets on my nerves, our leaders are becoming one and the same. Maybe they have always been like this and we were just always brainwashed and didn't know it. But I don't like this, what's going on. And I know that there's some people who are just trust the plan. He's playing chess, not checkers. But, I piss on that, because the total and utter lack of respect that our leaders are not only showing for our troops who are going over there and dying, just an utter and complete despicable lack of respect. Not only are they doing that, but they are using this to distract us from what they are doing to the kids. I implore you all to look into what's going on in Lebanon with the children in Lebanon, the children in Iran. They're doing what they did in Gaza. All of the fears these people might have had watching Israel perpetrate all of this on the Gazans, they're all legitimized now, because it's happening. It's happening right now. There are so many children that have already been casualties of this conflict. And I'm not going to say names, but there are people who I've respected in the past who have come out and said there'll always be casualties. There's been some now, but it's not the white hats. Yeah, I don't know where she's getting her information, but if the United States is saying we killed those children, I tend to believe it. I really do. You know what I mean? We cannot be silent about this, guys. You know what I mean? We cannot be silent. This is our government who are claiming to represent us to the rest of the world, and they are in other countries killing children in our names. Do you realize that? I'm not okay with that. I am so not okay with that. And I don't like to admit it, but not because of the children, but because of the distraction. I've lost sleep over this distraction. I really have. And it's painful to even call it a distraction when children start dying and when children start getting displaced, because now it's a whole other thing, because now it's everything that people have been warning, including myself, been warning. It's happening. This is what wars do. They create displaced children. It turns on a whole faucet of displaced, vulnerable children ready to be exploited. Because think about something. They did close the border, which was a whole other faucet of missing and displaced children coming across our borders, making it easy for everybody. Once that spigot was turned off and the border was closed, they needed another supply of children. I believe that's why they started this war. I really do. I don't care what they say they started it for, what they think in their head, if they think they're bringing the end times. That's all bullshit, in my opinion. It's all to create a flow of displaced children that they can exploit. They are ruining humanity's future by doing this, by targeting the children like this. They're targeting the children everywhere. Everywhere. Don't you... We need to have serious conversations about where to go from here, because we can just keep waiting for our leaders to do the right thing. But it's not going to happen. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that even if our leaders who we elect wanted to do the right thing, truly wanted to do the right thing, that they're not able to, because they're not really in control. They're not able to. Who elected Jeffrey Epstein for anything? And look at how much he controlled. You see what I'm saying? He seems to have more control over these world leaders than any elected official ever has, including Donald Trump. And he wasn't elected by anybody. He was elected by nobody. So this is what's happening. We need to face it. We need to start having serious conversations because we outnumber these people. Like, oh my God, like if we all just said, you know what? We've had enough of this. We're not going to kill each other anymore. We're not going to fight each other anymore. We're not going to allow our government to command our soldiers to kill children. No, we're not going to do this. We could. This all could be over with tomorrow. So we need to have some serious conversations about this. We really do, because this is getting ridiculous. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. And I don't claim to have all the answers. I don't have all the answers, but like, we got to do something different. These kids need us. If we're not going to speak up for them, who will? Well, you think the aliens are going to? If they haven't done it by now, they're not going to. They basically just came here, wreaked havoc, made this whole bloodline of narcissistic psychopaths, then just, hauled ass and said, you guys deal with it. And so, fuck them. Fuck them. They have moved no mountains for humanity. They've only harmed humanity. They've only hurt humanity. And, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. Unless these aliens are going to arrest the pedophiles, I really don't even want to talk about them. It really pisses me off now. It really does. Yes, I know that they're real. I know they work with the government. I also know that they're not doing anything to help these children. Sick of it. Sick of it. I don't even want to talk about it. But, okay. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it all. So, I'm not sure this Elders of Zion protocol thing. I don't know if it's debunked or not. I don't know. I know that whoever said it was debunked didn't give any evidence that it was debunked. So, and I also know that the Yahweh in the Old Testament, if we're talking about him, he most definitely requires blood. Make no mistake. He required blood. Well, you think that in the Bible, let's pretend like everything that he said in that Old Testament is true. Let's just pretend for a minute, and he didn't require the Israelites to do child sacrifice or whatever. They definitely were doing some sacrificing and bloodshed for him. Like, even more so than if they were just in the desert performing child sacrifice. Like, I'm serious. They were literally genociding entire cultures. It says it. It goes into great detail about that in the Old Testament. They were literally genociding entire cultures in the ancient Middle East. So, I mean, like I said, you take it, if you believe everything it says, they may not have had to sacrifice children. They still had to make up for it quite a bit. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if they had to use the blood of children, of the Palestinian children, or any other child, really. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. In fact, there was that part in Numbers 31 where, thousands upon thousands of little girls were spared in Midian just to belong to the Israelites and Yahweh. So, I mean, the Bible is clear about like what Yahweh had going on. Okay, he was not a good guy, and he was not a god. But anywho, that is really it for today. Things getting heavy, guys. Things are getting heavy, but I don't know. I'll talk to you guys later.